Hi guys! So I thought I would read a few quotes from you by the famous Stan Lee. So consider this video a dedication to Stan Lee. I originally wanted to do it on November 12th, but time didn't allow it, so I'm doing it now, a few days after his poor departure, which I'm really sad about because he's a really inspirational person. So if you don't know this, he originally started in 1961, and he was originally with Jack Kirby. They are the original creators of the Marvel comic books, which they started the Fantastic Four and also co-created several other iconic fictional characters, such as Spider-Man, the Hulk, Doctor Strange, Daredevil, and Panther, and the X-Men. And there's several more, believe me. So, through those superheroes, he was able to inspire generations and fans. But not just comic book makers, but other people as well. So, let's look back on some of his quotes. I will put the link as to where I got all these quotes from. Okay, so the first one is, just because you have superpowers, that doesn't mean your love life would be perfect. I don't think superpowers automatically means there won't be any personality problems, family problems, or even money problems. I just tried to write characters who are human beings who also have superpowers. I think he makes an excellent point about that, because when you have special gifts or talents, sometimes people put you on this pedestal and assume you have this little perfect life just because you are who you are. For example, famous people are like, oh, you're rich and famous, you must have everything. So maybe they have everything material-wise, but that doesn't mean that their personal lives are all together. I mean, look at all the celebrities who are fighting over their children, or all the celebrities who have gone through many divorces. Clearly their life is not perfect. Now, this is not for all celebrities, of course. There are several celebrities who do have really good lives and are really happy. I cannot speak for any of them because the media may make them look one way, but there may be another way in reality. You would have to actually ask the celebrity how they really felt on that. This leads me on to, sorry, someone's sick in the house. This leads me on to quote number 2. Another definition of a hero is someone who is concerned about the people's well-being and will go out of their way, his or her way, to help them, even if there is no chance of a reward. That person who helps others, simply because it should or must be done, and because it's the right thing to do, is indeed without a real superhero. I actually live by this quote, because I don't believe in judging people, and I believe you should help whoever crosses your path, regardless of who they may be. Does that make me a superhero? According to Stan Lee, yes. Do I consider myself a superhero? No, I don't. Excuse me. Losing my voice a bit. Probably because I'm talking so fast. But I think that's really important because a lot of people lose their way and they become judgmental on whether or not they should help someone. And I think no matter who it is, you should definitely help them. Right? This leads me to the next quote. Quote 3. The power of prayer is still the greatest ever known in the endless internal universe. This quote is from the Watchers of Avengers 14. Now, what he means by that, I assume, is that because when you're praying, you're putting faith in something. You are putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself on the line. Is it going to happen? Does prayer work? I'm not going to say it does or doesn't because, I don't know your beliefs. But the point is when you put trust in something, it is a powerful thing. Hope is a powerful thing. Hope and faith is a powerful thing, regardless if you believe in something or not. Because you could believe in yourself. Atheists believe in themselves. So they probably don't use prayer, but same term principle is that if you're putting trust in something, that is powerful. And I think that's what he's trying to say. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he's trying to say. The fourth one is, I don't really see the need to retire as long as I'm having fun. And I like that quote because I hope that when I'm old and gray, I'm still cosplaying and I'm still doing blogs. Or doing art, or doing something that I love. I don't ever want to stop. Because the moment I stop doing the things I love, what is the point of living? I don't really see retirement as an option in my life. Of course, I'm still really young, so I might change my mind on that. But to me, someone who can just do their passions forever is worth it. my sensei who can sew and taught me how to sew. Well, she didn't completely teach me to sew, but she taught me a lot of things I know. She, to this day, although she doesn't sew as much as she used to, still sews every now and then. Because this is her passion. This is who she is. So never give up on your passions. This doesn't mean that you give up on your job, but hopefully your job is your dream job. He did a job that was very fun compared to other people. So, you know. And I think with us, if you aren't an artist, then you probably do enjoy what you do and you would like to continue to do it. I know I do. And so that being said, leading on to our next quote. But although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, partially insane, to demand an entire race to despise an entire nation, to verify entire religion. Sooner or later, we must judge each other on our own merits. Sooner or later, if man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we just fill our hearts with tolerance. And this is true. We should tolerate each other. Just because someone thinks differently than you doesn't mean that you have the right to judge them. It doesn't mean that you are more correct. I mean, stuff happens. And that kind of reminds me of some events that I've seen, because I actually see this a lot in the cosplay community, is some cosplayers judge each other. Especially with the women. Because, like, there are women who have sex appeal. There are women who are modest cosplayers. There are women who are, like, kind of in between. And they get judged for that. And why are we judging them? We're all cosplayers. It doesn't matter what level you are. It doesn't matter what reason you're doing it. If it's your passion and you're doing it for you and for the people that are viewing it, like your fans, depending on your demerits. Like, I cosplay for myself. The fans are a plus, and I thank all of you. I really do. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I love it. And that's why you should do it. So, we shouldn't judge anybody. No matter their race, ethnicity, religion, belief, or what they've done in their past. We should not judge anybody. Because everyone deserves such a chance, and everybody is a person, and every person has value. Okay? So I really appreciate that about him, because he was someone who all of his characters, a lot of them, there was women that were strong in there. There were men that were calm and sensitive. All these characters have gone through so much, and he makes such diverse characters. He did. And they still live on. Hopefully they continue to live on several years later after his passing. And I think they will. I really think they will. Okay, next one. He says, I used to be embarrassed because I was just a comic book writer while other people were building bridges or going to medical careers. And then I began to realize entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. Without it, they might go off at the deep end. I feel that if you're able to entertain people, you're doing a good thing. I honestly agree with that. As someone who loves acting and who is an actress, I fully agree with that. Because I do not think that just because you have a job like a psychiatrist or a doctor, that makes you any better than a person who's an actor. Both of you are doing good for people. Maybe not in the same aspect, but you're doing good for people. And yeah, it's true. The acting job may not pay good, but guess what? The doctor job doesn't always pay good either. Because when you start out, you're on the bottom podium. Yeah, eventually you're the high-paying doctor. But you gotta work at it. You gotta go to school a lot. It's the same thing with a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist will start low. Probably work at, not their own practice at first. But eventually they'll get their own practice. Everything you do, no matter what it is, you have to work to get up out there. That's just how it is. I don't care what your job is. Even if you're a janitor, you're probably going to clean toilets before you're cleaning floors, right? So, you got to work up. You start on the bottom and you work up. There are a few cases where, okay, you're really cool, you're way up there automatically. Awesome, cool. I know people that are like that. I've had a few lucky things too, where I just kind of bounce the scale. Not always. Obviously, I'm not on TV. One day, though. One day. But regardless, his job was important. All jobs are important. Everything a person does is important. So no matter what your job is, you're important. Okay? The next one is I try to do anything that's too close to what I've done before. And the nice thing is we have a big universe here. It's filled with new ideas. All you have to do is grab one. he believed that trying to do things differently is good. And that's really good because a lot of writers, and even if it's a chapter book, a comic book, they kind of start going into like a loop-de-loop. He tried to keep it fresh. And I think with all the different things we have, he definitely kept it fresh. Excuse me. Okay, this one I'm sure you all know. I don't even have to read it off the paper. So, with great power comes great responsibility. He is not the only one to have said that. This has been said throughout history. Because when you have power, you must be careful how you use that power. Like, are you going to be like King Arthur? Are you going to be like Gilgamesh? Are you going to be like Stan Lee? Are you going to be like, you know, R.L. Stein? Whoever are you going to be like? Whoever is your role model. When you have power, when you've made it up there, when you are the voice that people listen to, what are you going to do with that power? Let's say you've got 10,000 subscribers and you're a cosplayer. What are you going to do with all those subscribers? Your voice at that point has been amplified. And you have power. And not because you have more followers. But you typically, when you're kind of on the high scale or in a high position, it can be very from different things. You are responsible for those around you because what you do is going to affect them. Ultimately, it's their choice, but what you do is going to affect them, right? So, great power is a responsibility. My next quote that he said, I never thought that Spider-Man would become the worldwide icon that he is. I just hoped the books would sell and I'd keep my job. I'm sure we all think that as artists or cosplayers. Because we're just hoping that whatever we're putting out there, people will like. I have a friend who has an OC. And his OC is doing really well. He doesn't have a comic book of himself yet. But I'm pretty sure one day, if he keeps working out, he will. And he's actually been approached by some people. So, don't ever think what you're doing is little. Because one day, someone could come in and love it. And then the world may know about it. Look at Stan Lee. He never knew what his little comic book was going to do. And now thousands of people are sad about his death. I'm sad about his death. So, you know, little things matter. Every little thing you do. You never know if it's going to become famous one day. Or important to you. Okay. Next quote. What did Dr. Doom really want? He wanted to rule the world. Now think about this. You could walk across the street against a traffic light and get a summons for jaywalking. But you could walk up to a police officer and say, I want to rule the world. And there's nothing he can do about it. That is not a crime. Anybody that wants to rule the world. So, even though he was the Fantastic Four's greatest menace, in my mind, he was never a criminal. That is debatable. From the creator's point, no, he's not. And I always did think he was kind of misunderstood. I'm not getting into that debate, though. We can do that in another video. Maybe, if you guys want. But I always thought Dr. Doom was misunderstood. Not so much of a villain. You know, chaotic. Yeah, neutral, maybe. Okay. Next is, some people will say, why read a comic book? It stifles the imagination. If you read a novel, you imagine what people are like. If you read a comic book, it's showing you. The only answer I could give is, you can read a Shakespeare play, but does that mean you wouldn't want to see it on stage? He's totally right. As an actress, I definitely want to see the Shakespeare plays. I have seen the Shakespeare plays. Yes, my imagination went a little different from what I saw on stage. But by reading the material, by seeing the pictures, depending on the person, it will block them or not block them. In my case, it doesn't. It actually causes me to go even more crazy about my imagination. Because I'm like, what can I think of that can be a continuation? Or what can I think of that the writer didn't think of? or the artist didn't think of. See, now my mind is thinking 4 times more than it would have if I had just read it. So, he's onto something there. Okay, next quote. I don't know where the hell I'll be in 5 years. Maybe I'll be producing movies. Maybe. I'll be on the corner selling apples. I know, but I'm having a hell lot of fun. Enjoy what you're doing. Don't worry about the future. I mean, worry about where you're going in a sense, but enjoy the presents is the point of that. I'm one of those people who really enjoys the presents. I live in the moment. Like, just last night, I was with a friend, and we went to Dave & Buster's. I got a bunch of plushies. I wasn't thinking about, what am I going to do the next day? No, I'm like, I'm going to play games. I'm going to act like a dork. I'm going to have fun with it. So, enjoy the moment. Always enjoy the moment. Because you never know what's going to be your last. Right? Okay. Next. I think I read that one. Yeah, I did read that one. Okay. This is a different one. Being a geek has become a badge of honor. It's geeks who really make or break a TV show, or a movie, or a video game. They're the ones passionate about the things and who collects the paramabilia and talk about them. A geek is really somebody interested in the communication and entertainment and finding the best way to avail himself or herself to it. I love being a geek. I wouldn't trade being a geek for anything. And neither should you, if you are one. If you're not, that's cool too. But I love my video games, I love doing my video blogs, and I love even playing my games when you guys are not critiquing me or hearing what I think about them. For instance, my League of Legends. I tend to play that on my own, not with you guys. I will someday play with you guys if I ever get a good laptop and can stream it. Still learning about that. I don't know if I'll ever do the whole rank thing. Mainly because I act like a dork in stream. Because I streamed once with League, and I was not really focusing on my game. And I don't want to hurt anyone's rank. You know what I mean? That'd be really good. We don't need anyone going from gold to bronze. You know what I mean? That's a joke there. Jinx is my favorite though. Anyway, getting off of that, getting back to Stan Lee. Okay. I wanted them to be diverse. The whole underlying principle of the X-Men is to try to be a story to show there's good in every person. And this is true. Even, excuse me, even Mystique, Magneto, and everyone who has been a villain on there, they had a reason to be a villain. I won't go into full detail as to all the different arcs, but like, in one arc, Magneto, the reason he is so evil is because of what happened to his family in World War II with the Nazis, okay? He wanted revenge on humanity because he felt humans did not understand mutants and never would be compassionate, so they needed to be annihilated. Plain and simple. Just cause. Doesn't actually make it right? No. But there's still good in him. His intentions were good. He wanted to protect the mutants, even if it was by force. In fact, a new show that I'm watching that is based off of the X-Men. I don't know if Stan Lee had anything to do with it. I'll have to do some research on that. But it definitely was inspired by his work, nonetheless. And that is The Gifted. All the characters in The Gifted, they have a humanity to them. They have good in them. My favorite one would have to probably be Esme, the telepath. Because, excuse me, she is on the other side because of her sisters. And we later find out that she has 2 other sisters. Sorry, spoiler. And she has a lot of compassion towards the baby. And so we see she has empathy for children. So that's the goodness in her heart. And so we have yet to know what the crazy inside-out girl's compassion is. But I'm sure eventually they will reveal it. Because even our mean siren lady which I don't want to give out her name if you haven't seen the series, so that's why I'm not going to give names except for Esme's. But I call her Siren because she literally can do stuff with her voice, and it, like, hurts people's ears. We find out that she had fallen in love with the humans she needed to deal with. And she had compassion towards that human, and things kind of went south and he died. But yes, all of the mutants in there, even the ones that are on the other side, you do see good. So I think that idea that Stan Lee created in his original creations continued on other works. So I really like that because it's true. Anyone who does something bad, typically there's a reason behind it. It's very rare that someone is just naturally a narcissist. It does happen though, but it's really rare. Typically there's a reason behind it. But we won't get into that too because it's a whole other argument. Okay. So that is it for my Stan Lee